Guys, welcome to another episode of Professionals in Cars. Dan
Welcome.
Roy.
Dylan Rooney.
We got another good one for you.
We have
Welcome
an exciting
back.
topic. So we're going to discuss today some of the do's and don'ts of how to maybe end a small talk conversation in the office, whether it be with someone that you're close with, a buddy of yours in the office, or maybe someone that you get caught into conversation, you're just looking to leave and maybe attend to some other work that you have to take care of.
Everybody has people that you really enjoy talking to. Sometimes those conversations last longer. Sometimes you have people that are just kind of slightly awkward, or you're like, I don't, this person talks longer than I'm going to want to talk to. So you got to have ways to get out of that conversation. And I think we're going to help you with that today. So if you are the one approaching someone, obviously you have the control of, you're the one in control of when the conversation ends. So if I'm going into your space, you're stuck there.
Yeah.
I control it.
Definitely.
Right? So when I go, talk to you, you're going to have to deal with whatever I talk about for as long as I want to talk about it.
And not only that, most of the time when that happens, I feel one person is sitting and the person that approaches them is standing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's already kind of a little bit of an awkward situation because, should I stand? Should I remain sitting?
Yeah. I'll try to, end the little conversation, especially if it's someone that I'm, friendlier with in the office, with, a joke.
Okay.
So I try to end it with, something sarcastic, or I'm making fun of the situation we find ourselves in. And I end it with both of us, giving a nice, generous laugh, and then I'm on my way. That typically is, a good sign of, we're done here.
I'll just say exactly what I'm going to do. If I want to end the conversation, be like, all right, I'm going to go now, and I'm going to go back to work. And even though I'm just 10 feet away, I'm going to make it very known that I'm just ending the conversation here and turning around.
Yep.
But if it's someone maybe I'm not as close with, not that buddy with, I try to think of something that could, maybe something I have to do, that's something that he needs, or something that we can talk about at a later topic.
Exactly.
So I'll end it in a way where I'll make sure I'll get that email to you, I'll get that information to you in a little bit, and end it that way.
That's a perfect technique, by the way.
I think it's a smooth technique. This way, it's hey, I still care about your time, but I care about it so much that I'm going to go attend to this, so
Exactly.
I get it to you.
Yeah, I love that take. I was going to say the same thing.
A coworker of yours came up, started discussing a project you guys are working on.
Yeah.
Now that had nothing to do with what I'm working on, and I'm standing there in this little triangle of conversation, and I didn't really need to be there. I couldn't really contribute to anything, and I was trying to think of a smooth exit. And the best thing I could come up with is the fact that we've played cards a few times, and I just said, you know what, guys, I have to get back to work. Let me know if you guys want to maybe play cards again at a later time.
It was slick.
Actually, again, this week was, I think that's why the topic just is so prevalent and fresh in my mind. Is this week had a handful of awkward conversations. I have one colleague that works in the office that comes into my office frequently, talks about his weekend, his kids, what have you, and I enjoy the conversation. It breaks up my day a little bit.
Sweetheart of a guy.
Really nice guy.
I mean, it's just a sweetheart.
And he comes in, and we already had a pretty lengthy conversation the day before. He came back in and didn't have much to say. He just said, how are you? How are things going today? And I answered very well. And he goes, all right, and just turned and left. It caught me completely off guard. I actually remained sitting there, standing at the door, thinking that he might come back in a second or two, because I was so confused with how he just awkwardly left the conversation. No goodbye, I'll talk to you later. No, just little ending to let me know that the conversation was completed. So it was a very, very awkward moment.
So he asked you, what are you doing? Pretty much, right?
Yeah, what
and
are you
you
doing?
say
What's
nothing.
going on?
You say not much. He says, okay, and then turns around, turns his back to you and walks out.
And not only turns his back, walks out, but in a very fast manner, shoulder down and
Whoa.
Almost sprinted out. I must have scared him. I must have smelled bad that day. I couldn't tell you.
Wow.
We definitely want to hear your guys' point of view on this as well. If you guys have any other inputs or good exit strategies, we definitely want to try them out. And
or funny stories of awkward goodbyes or awkward exit strategies.
We do love the awkwardness.
Please let us know.
Let's move on to the next topic. Should we talk about not enough people are talking about?
Wow, changing up the sequence.
I am changing it up big time. Again, I am singing the praises of Uber Facts on Instagram. They are always keeping me up to date with all these interesting
Yeah, you do
tidbits.
love that, yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy it, and I saw one this week that was really cool, and I didn't believe it at first, so I looked it up. I did some research, and I found out that a new type of seaweed has recently been created and patented, and it is a seaweed, I guess, coming out of Oregon, I believe. I forget exactly where, but it's common seaweed, red seaweed called dulce, that they basically manipulated to taste like bacon. So it's healthy for you. It's got a lot of proteins, vitamins, minerals, but when you fry it, it tastes like bacon.
I feel there's just too many people with time on their hands.
I think that's incredible. So now that people are definitely talking about seaweed
I
bacon.
agree with you. I agree. I agree with that completely, and I love the idea of it. So mine, I think I'm going to go a little bit of a hybrid. A couple of just quick things that not enough people are talking about this week. One is similar to something I've spoke about in the past. Not enough people are talking about the Women's College World Series for softball. Fantastic series. I love the whole tournament. You know, it goes by regionals, and then I think the top 8 teams make the World Series. But the finals was Oklahoma and Auburn. Finished last night. Went to Game 3. Auburn had a crazy comeback in Game 2 with a crazy, home run robbing catch in the 7th inning of Game 2. It's a great series. I think the whole sport's really good. The whole tournament's great, and it's a nice change of pace. I don't really get into the baseball World Series that much, college baseball.
No, me neither. I personally find baseball, I can't say I watch a lot of softball, but I imagine the sport being very similar in my eyes. It's a little slow for me.
Yeah,
I'd actually rather watch golf than most softball or baseball games.
Golf is
in
alright.
my opinion.
Golf's alright. I agree. Golf's alright.
Maybe it's because I was terrible at baseball growing up. Little League was a extreme struggle for me. My parents had to bribe me to get a hit and get on the base.
That's what it. I mean, you were traumatized by that.
I was.
But the softball it's good. I think it's a little bit more entertaining. If I'm going to watch baseball, I'll watch professionals. I don't need to watch college kids. The other thing, real quick, that not enough people are talking about this week, is the beautiful summer movie Lost Boys.
Again, you're bringing back these flashbacks that I am just not familiar with.
This is shot. I don't know how you've never seen Lost Boys before.
I must be sheltered.
Corey brothers. I mean, we're talking, mid to late 80s here. We got Corey Haim, rest in peace. Corey Feldman. We got young Kiefer Sutherland. We got, Jason Patrick going on. We got, the cast goes on for years. It's just, we got the not Keanu Reeves of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Okay.
So the other guy in that
name.
Also killed it in that era. Lost Boys, I consider it a summer movie. It's set in California beach town. We got vampires in the story here, and it's just a great movie.
So this is the Twilight Saga before the Twilight Saga.
Twilight ripped it off.
Let's go on to what we drank this weekend.
All right. I drank for the first time a Henry's Hard Soda.
Okay.
I had the ginger ale flavor. To me, it tasted a little bit more like ginger beer, that ginger beer flavor, like a Boylan's or something like that, as opposed to ginger ale. But it was good. It's a little sweet. But I am not, I'm not afraid to be drinking those sweet drinks. So I thought it was very good.
I love the name drop, by the way. Boylan's soda is hands down some of the best soda.
Boylan's
great. The best.
Yeah, Boylan's, we can write a book about Boylan's if we wanted to.
We easily could. What I drank this weekend actually was a Sauvignon Blanc. We were enjoying some nice white wine at the beach this weekend, and it was a 2014 Pezzi King Sauvignon Blanc. It's a winery again out in California.
Okay.
I believe Healdsburg, so right next to the Sonoma region.
Pezzi King is the producer?
Producer, yep.
Okay.
Pezzi King is the producer, and it's a really, really good Sauvignon Blanc.
I love Sauvignon
Great
Blanc.
summer wine.
Yeah.
It's very fruit forward, so you get that lemony honeydew taste when you first sip it, and afterwards,
Like your style so
it's
far.
got a lot of fruit after you take that sip as well. So I would say the fruits that you really pick up are maybe like an apricot or a grapefruit.
Is that on the finish or the mid?
That's on the mid palate, I'd say, and then the finish is really just crisp. And I would say the fruit actually does finish there as well. But
that's great.
It was thoroughly enjoyable. And I really don't drink a lot of white wine. I can't say I do, but that white wine I could see myself sipping on all night.
That's great.
Oh, okay. We'll do the workout. Workout it is. We actually did an intense workout today. We have a new workout partner in our crew, should I say?
Big boy.
He brought in some battling ropes and a slam ball for us to partake in today, and we did 30-second intervals of where we're working out, and then did about 4 rounds, 3 exercises, 4 rounds of 30-second reps, I guess.
Yes.
So we started off with the combat ropes and just alternating between various combat ropes, single arms, double arms, side to sides, sitting, what have you. What else did we do?
We did the slam ball pretty much from a squat position. You reach down. This was a 30-pound slam ball. Reach down, pick it up over your head, and slam it down as hard as you can, and over again for 30 seconds. And then the last rotation was a core exercise, right?
Yeah, so we alternated between, I think, the plank, some Supermans, bananas, just various crunches, but just keep that going and keep that fluidity of the whole circuit going.
Yep.
It was definitely hard. The shoulders are feeling it currently.
It was great. It was the first time I've done either one of those ropes or slam ball exercises. I thought it was phenomenal. And again, it was, the 3 exercises, 4 sets in a round, and then 4 rounds.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Best thing we saw all week.
Best thing we saw all week. The best thing I saw all week actually just occurred yesterday. I was in New York City. I was heading home, take the bus home, and I'm heading into Port Authority.
Okay.
And me being the workout enthusiast I am not getting on the escalator. I'm taking the stairs up. I'm walking up the stairs, and this elderly woman is carrying her luggage, roll-on luggage, or whatever it is, down the stairs. And this random guy decides to stop, ask her for assistance, and picks up the luggage and carries it down the stairs. I, of course, saw this. I'm right behind him. I love what I saw. That's why I'm bringing it up. And I, of course, offered to see if I could grab one end of the luggage and assist as well. He kind of shooed me away. Didn't really want my help.
I mean, he wanted the glory here.
I respect it completely.
Yeah.
I would have probably done the same, but...
I mean, you had, probably a few seconds before he said anything. And he's like, hey, you had your shot. I'm taking this.
He definitely reacted faster than I did, but hands down the best thing I saw.
Good.
Random acts of kindness like that, I think, go a long way, and they're contagious.
Believe me.
I love to see it.
Believe me, I know exactly what you're talking about because I did a random act of kindness this week.
Oh.
Not
enough people are talking about that.
Not enough people are talking about it. It could have been the best. It was the best thing I saw all week. I have another one, but I did a random act of kindness. I saved a dog's life. It was stranded on the side of the road, and I saved it. I took it. I found its home, and no one else was stopping. I stopped traffic, made sure no one was coming. It was a nice dog, and I found its home.
You guys gonna leave on that cliffhanger though? You saved a dog's life? I need more details than that.
I saved the dog's life. The thing was scared to death.
Are you guys best friends now?
I would have liked to think that. But one thing I did read this week out of Food and Wine magazine was an article. Its pretense was kind of on food, but the concept was how important opposites are.
Okay.
Right? So if you're talking about a food dish, comparing something salty and sweet, it's important. Opposites are important in the meal, whatever. He also drew a comparison to, say, lodging. Right? So if, say, you're going on trips or you're wealthy, when you go away somewhere, all you stay at is like 4-star hotels. That's all you stay at.
I'm staying at the Ritz every time I go somewhere.
And he said, so it's the same thing every time. So at this point, if you do 4-star hotels all the time, that'll get boring. Flip side, if you just sleep in the woods every night, then you're gonna get cold. But doing either one every single time is not good. You're gonna have a issue where it's gonna get slow, mundane, whatever, or dangerous in that scenario. But in life, I think that's a good way to keep things in mind. For me, like if I do the sleeping example, this is maybe weird, but back in my old place when I was living by myself in an apartment, I I changed up the direction I slept in my bed.
Okay.
So for me, I got bored sleeping the same way every time. I became less comfortable over, and then I just switched.
So your feet went to where your head was?
Yep.
Okay.
And it made the nights more exciting. I fell asleep quicker. I felt like I was doing something cool, and I was like kind of camping out. But you don't always want to be, if you're parallel to work. I go to this desk job, this cube job, every single day. That's all I do. That's all I do. That's all I do. You need something to balance that out. What's the opposite? The opposite is trying to do something creative, entrepreneurial, or something on your own.
Most definitely.
Or even, let's say, where you work. I go to my same office. I go to my same desk every single day. What's an opposite of that? Maybe I'm doing the same work, but I'm going to do the work at a cafe or a diner or, a coffee shop. Just the surrounding is an opposite vibe, opposite feel. Keeps it light, keeps it lively, keeps it fresh.
It's just breaking it up and making you, when you return to wherever you have done a long time, reevaluate and look at it in a different perspective, maybe.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yep.
I think it's very similar, like most people say, when you have, say you have sunshine all the time, you start to undervalue the sun, and then you have rain all the time. When the sun comes out,
great example.
You're stoked about it. I remember one of our first videos, how grateful we were when the sun came out.
Yep.
So I think it is all about that contrast, like you said.
Great point. The 4 seasons, the same way. You have winter, summer, you appreciate each one more. If you had winter all the time, you would hate winter. If you had summer all the time, you maybe not hate summer, but you would get maybe a little tired of it.
I don't know. I could definitely do without winter.
Maybe like a 2-week winter.
Yeah, that I'm totally about.
That I think pretty much sums up the day.
That's the day, the week, this episode. I think we gave out some very valuable and informational tidbits on how to exit awkward conversations.
Yep.
Like this one.
Yeah, so enjoy it. Leave the comments, leave the emails, follow us on Facebook, and see you next week.
And we look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Take care.